Hey, welcome to It's Sybil. It's Sybil. The birthday girl is busy being the birthday girl. Happy birthday, Sybil, and her birthday. So, you know what I'm saying? We just, want to make sure that everybody knows and everyone goes out and says, Happy birthday, Sybil. This is Sybil's day. And she's gotten the day off, huh? So this is what we're going to do today. My name's Ahmed. I also go by Big Net Med. I am the producer of the Morning Hustle. To the bottom is one of America's best comedians. He goes by the name of Alton Walker. He is also a member of the Morning Hustle. And then to my left, you're right, my left. Wait, what? Mm-hmm. Right, Cameron? Anyways, to your right, my left, I think, is the one and only Khameron Riley, my partner in crime every Tuesday. What's up, Khameron?
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. Let's just go ahead and get these things out the way. How's your day been? You're in Chicago, DNC's going on. Can you move around the city at all?
You know, my commute from the south to the west side does not directly go through the downtown area. So I am very thankful for that. I have avoided all of the DNC-related ruckus, but I am tuned in. I am tapped in.
Are you enjoying it so far? We've had one day and about to kick off day number 2 for some reason, 8 to 12 a.m. I don't know what they were thinking about putting Biden out there. We'll get to that. I just come on, 80. Come on, man. Yeah, we're gonna put Biden up at 11:38. I swear to God, they keep doing this thing to this man. 9 o'clock debates, 10 o'clock debates. Stop it.
He specifically said no, like no things.
Like Biden should be saying, "Hey, can I just open it up and leave?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Alton's a comedian. Isn't it sometimes as a comedian you want to, hey, I just want to open up. I don't need to be a headliner.
I don't need to be a headliner. We ain't getting paid for this. Put me up first, man.
I got to go.
That man need to watch Jeopardy and go to bed, man.
Come on, man. Alton, what's been going on with you, brother?
Man, everything was good until my nephew, man, he got a phone call from the bus driver.
What'd he do?
Man, I mean, here's the thing. The lady is older. She's 62 years old, which I don't know why they got a 62-year-old bus driver. We need to talk
no one else wants to drive.
Nobody else wants a job. And I'm sorry, my bus driver always been old. When I was a kid, he was older than dirt. Hey!
So y'all just get old people bus driving jobs.
Hey!
And that's basically what it is. Like he said a cuss word and she just don't play that. You weren't cussing at me, but you don't cuss around me. He's just old school, and he got in trouble for
cuts free bus.
Yeah, you can cuss all you want, but don't. I told him my mama and daddy just heard me cuss for the first time when I was 36, and I was on stage.
My mom also.
What did your mama say?
Oh, I was going to hell. 2:30 in the morning. My mama was like, "What? And you cussing?" My dad was more cool about it, but my mama was hurt, boy. She was hurt.
She's like, all this time, I thought my baby never cussed. And at 36 years old, when did you start cussing? Well, Miles, since 15.
Right. And I told him that. Like, I used to cuss in middle school, but not in front of grown folks. That's all. You just got to respect the older people. So, yeah, I had to deal with that. That's why I was a little late.
Hey, just like porn, you got to explain to the young man, hey, and it's time, and make sure that you clear the cash. All right, man?
See, you know what?
Make sure your mama don't see it.
His phone. I need to go through the cash. I need to go through.
hey, you got to go through. Hey, and look through the incognito.
You right.
Yeah. You got parents out there. When you're checking your kids' phones, check the incognito tabs.
Yep.
Yeah, and just check all the tracking cookies. It'll lead you to where it is that you need
to go.
I'm glad y'all told me that.
Or you don't want to see it all. Okay.
You know how to reach stuff.
Google autocomplete will tell on you.
Absolutely.
You just type in TIT and then, yeah.
It is what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like I said, we are here because Sybil, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sybil. And of course, the What You Need to Know newsletter comes out every day, Monday through Friday. And it's a free 99 newsletter. Hey, look, that keeps you up to date with everything that's black. They got to do with black people, us. It's a good old FUBU. You remember them? For us, by us. Ain't no white people on staff. I don't know if that's legal to say, but there isn't.
Not in this anti-DEI.
Yogi, is there anybody white on staff today? I'm behind the scenes. Yogi? No, you don't want to say nothing? Okay, just checking.
The accountant is white.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Makes sense. Man, that is so like us. Anyways. Khameron Riley is one of the contributors who contributes every day to the newsletter. And today's newsletter, Khameron, what were you talking about, my man?
Yeah, we're doing some historical education for today's story. Those of you who read it first thing in the morning know that we were talking about the Democratic National Convention of 1968. And I'll paint the picture for you. It was 1968. Emperor, the God King himself, Daley, ruled over the city of Chicago with an iron fist, and he had something to prove. He and the Chicago Police Department had to prove that he could keep all of the establishment settlement under control. And in the background was one of the most deadliest wars in American history, the Vietnam War. We're also following the assassinations of the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And Senator Robert F. Kennedy. So there was just a lot of there's just a lot of death and disbelief happening. Very much like today.
I'm about to say it's very comparable. Go ahead, Khameron. Make the comparisons, my man. Very comparable.
Very comparable, but I think that there are some nuances that have changed that will make this convention very much unlike that of 1968. And first, we can talk about how the police were behaving back then. Back then, CPD were some straight up thugs. If you got pulled over by a cop back then, you could slide a police officer $5 and they will send you on your way. Now you probably need to slide them $50, but that's besides.
That's inflation. That's inflation.
You're right. Just the
inflation. That's all it is.
Inflation, bribery, tax. But police also were just very much about that action. Police would not hesitate to give you the good old nightstick about the neck and shoulders, and that's what they were on against all the Vietnam War protesters back then. Also, the Democratic Party was not in the best place then either. They were very much split on who it is to nominate for president. But today, or as last night's festivities shown, everybody was on the same page. There were buckets full of white women tears. Kamala was sitting there, Kamala cool and collected. The Democratic Party is unified, and we are ready to squash the ultimate evil, President Donald Trump Jr. himself. So if you want a little bit more info about the 1968 DNC, I highly recommend that you read the article. It was a very tough time, and we should reflect on that time because we hold ourselves accountable to what democracy means, which is free speech, free to agree, free to disagree, free to contribute new ideas. But also, if we elect you as a representative, you should be doing what it is that we elected you to do.
Well, I mean, the comparisons you were making were very interesting to me because the war, that Vietnam War that was going on back then, but like right now we have this situation going on in the Gaza Strip. We see Iran trying to be a part of this whole thing now too. We see them saying FBI is now coming out and saying that Iran had a part to do with the hacking of the Trump and Harris campaign. You know what I'm saying? Iran said, we just bombing stuff over here. We ain't got nothing to do with the election. We cool. We don't like none of anybody you're gonna elect. We're not gonna be fans of anybody. So what we have right now is you have the I'm seeing the right trying to really trump up this, no pun intended, but really trump up this Palestinian protests that going on around the United Center, and they're trying to make a big deal of it. Like whenever I've seen the pictures, it's like a small crowd, but massive waves of unrest is going on around the United Center. When you see the juxtaposition of the Vietnam War and what they had to deal with back then, and what we're dealing with now when it comes to the Palestinian situation and the protests that are happening around the DNC. What kind of comparisons can you make to that, Khameron?
Yeah, from what I've seen from just like some influencers and some streamers, that the numbers that they were expecting didn't quite show up. They had 2,000 people, which is by all accounts a lot, but they were expecting about like 5,000. A lot more of the protests that are going on are more so for just like the reinstatement of Roe v. Wade, and also for economic policies. People really want billionaires to pay their fair share of taxes these days. So even some of the public displays aren't as large as you would think, and I don't expect Chicago police to just go around and just start beating people stoutly about the neck and shoulders with their nightsticks.
That's frowned upon today. That's frowned upon.
Yeah. Back then, not so much.
Not so much. Not so much. They'll be like, hey, just sweep it under the rug. Hey, give him a little money and get him out there. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Alton Walker, what are your thoughts on everything that's going on around the DNC right now?
Oh man, I'm excited. Last night felt like a real revival. I really feel like they should have let Jesse Jackson speak though. I don't know why they didn't let that man talk. I know he had a lot to say about Stevie Wonder kissing him in the mouth. I think he really wanted to probably share his thoughts about that. He didn't agree with that happening, and then he really wanted to stop it, but he couldn't. But
the look of shock on Jesse Jackson's face when Stevie missed.
But I'm enjoying the energy. Everybody looked like they got into a room and made sure everybody was on point. Make sure we talking about the same thing and pushing the same agenda. And I'm excited to see what Barack Obama is going to say tonight. I know somebody was saying he's going to be speaking on hope again, and I'm not going to lie. Can I be honest?
Go ahead, man. Speaking.
I'm tired of the hope message.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping it, and I'm hoping, but I'm just tired of the have hope and we it's coming and all that. Like
people my age call it hopamine.
Yeah, I grew up with that in church. It's like we almost there type energy. I want some stuff that's gonna happen now. What can we get now, and what we working for now? So I'm hoping that he don't hope a lot tonight, and he give us some some solid answers on what he feel like she's gonna bring to the table, and what we're gonna do in these next 4 years. So I'm excited.
I think people are. I think a lot of people get confused when it comes to the purpose of the DNC and even the RNC. I think people are looking for policy right now. I'm like, you're really not going to get a lot of policy in my opinion. You're going to get a pep rally,
right?
3 days of pepping and rallying. Khameron, what should people's expectations who are watching this? You know what I'm saying? Watching these things, because I feel like sometimes they're expecting to hear something that they're not really going to get. What should be the expectations of people when they're watching the DNC, or even or any of these conferences that we have when it comes to this election time?
Yeah, if you've tuned in up until this point, like Alton said, you're going to get a lot of the same rhetoric. But if you're just hopping in, trying to just see what it's about, it's a good chance for you to see who the Democrats' all-star cast is, who their starting five is.
Yeah.
Who they're trying to prop up into election cycles to come. And we see that they've positioned Representative Jasmine Crockett as like a heavy hitter. She was really bringing about those very helpful buckets of white women tears, and those translate to votes, and we need those. They were crying all night long. The white women and the Tim Walz, man, and every time when I saw a tear fall, I was like, "That's one vote."
White women and Tim Walz.
They were crying all night.
It was a very sensitive evening. It was a very sensitive evening.
Lord, please.
Yeah.
Oh man!
So it gives you a chance to just reacquaint yourself with some of the people who are making decisions. You're not going to get any hardcore plans or any hardcore policies, but you do get to hear a lot of what the Democratic Party is proud of, and the accomplishments that they are celebrating.
Because let's be honest, Barack Obama made a name for himself. What was it? Was it for Al Gore? Was it Al Gore's? Who was it? Where he talked at the DNC, and Barack's name just blew up after that. You know what I'm talking about? Was it Gore? It wasn't Gore, was it? Who was?
Wasn't John Kerry?
Man, it was a while ago, of course, because he got elected in 2008. So I'm trying to think who ran in 04. Who did Bush beat in 04? That's what I'm
Kerry,
thinking of.
right?
Huh?
Was it John Kerry?
It was John Kerry. I think it was John Kerry. But I'm just saying, like that's where people make their names. And Kamala Harris, I believe, spoke at one of the DNCs, I think for Barack or Biden. And I was just like, they're about to do something with her. You know what I'm saying? They're about to do something with her. And for some reason, I think, and Alton and I talked about this last night, I think Jasmine Crockett is a superstar. I think she's an absolute superstar. I just think that she's going to be she's going to be one of those lifelong senators or Congress.
I just don't want her to burn out. That was my fear for Kamala. I'm like, I thought they rushed Kamala.
I don't see Jasmine being a president or a vice president down the road. I saw Kamala being that, because people just call her the female Barack, but I thought they pushed her way too fast. And that's why she had that burnout in 2020. And, it just was like, it was a mess. But hopefully now, seeing the Democratic ticket unified, I'm just happy to see that, they're moving forward and it looks like everybody's going in the same direction. But make sure you check out Cameron's article in today's newsletter. It's a good read. And like I said, Cameron, you're going to be talking about the DNC all week, right?
Sybil probably will be. I'm going to talk about other things that are popping up that are aside from the DNC. Like Iranian has just been feeling really froggy as of late with these cyber attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine has finally advanced into Russian territory. There are some exciting things happening on the geopolitical scale that I think we should be aware of.
Got you. And again, Sybil does kind of wrap up DNC's first night in today's newsletter and the health updates. We're talking about the new phase of cancer. Cancer patients are getting younger and younger. So check that out in the newsletter. Also, the Ohio officer indicted for fatally shooting the Ohio officer that fatally shot that pregnant Black woman, and he got indicted. So we're going to see how that goes. And also, our CPA to the stars, Katrina M. Craft, is talking about what else? Taxes and how to help your business, your LLC, make more money. And also, you have your wellness check. You have your little known Black history fact, and the HBCU corner, all within the What You Need to Know newsletter. Free 99. Make sure you sign up today if you haven't already. And if you're not getting it, make sure you email somebody like Yogi. Well, not Yogi, because Yogi might miss that email. Just email somebody and we will get to you. All right. Let's get into this topic of the day. I do want to talk about this because me and Sybil had a conversation earlier today, and we do, and I write, her news segments for Al Sharpton, right? And I put in the news story that Sybil, God bless her, ignored because she didn't think that Al Sharpton's audience would understand or would get it. And I fought back. And tomorrow it's going to be in the news story because it's very important to talk about this Black story. All right. Boy Meets World star Danielle Fishel says she's been diagnosed with breast cancer. She made the revelation in Monday's episode of her Pod Meets World podcast. The 43-year-old mother of two said the cancer was caught extremely early and that is technically stage 0. So, praise God for that. But if you don't know who Danielle Fishel is, on Boy Meets World, she went by the name of Topanga. And I was telling people that back then, for a lot of young Black men, that was probably their first white crush. Was Topanga or either Kelly Kapowski from, Saved by the Bell. But, let's but Topanga, she caught a lot of brothers' eyes. That's why I said this is the Black news story, because people knew who Topanga was. So the question today is, who was your first white crush?
It's a very controversial topic, but it's all right.
Very controversial topic, but it was like you turn on TV, you're like, oh, who's that? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about some of you. I've been around friends' house when their mama said, "Hey, don't you bring a white girl into this house."
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. But I just want to know. I want to hear from you. Please put it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. I just want to know, who was your first white crush? This is a safe space. We can talk about it here.
We can be vulnerable as men. Yeah.
Come on, men, and in the comments, women and men, go ahead. It's a safe space, baby. Let it off your chest. You've been holding it in too long. Cameron, who was yours? Sylvia, I don't want to hear that, Sylvia Crawford. I don't want to hear that. You had one. It surprised you. Dig deep, Sylvia. Dig deep. Go ahead. Find that person. Go ahead, Cameron.
For me, probably it had to be what's her name? The first Pink Ranger on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Amy Jo Johnson.
Come on, Kim. Come on, Kim. I see you. I see you. That's a good choice.
Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Morphin as it works.
Alton Walker, who was yours?
Latoya Jackson.
See, man.
When I first,
You thought you was a white woman?
Incorrect.
At least you didn't say Michael Jackson, because as a young child, that could have confused you too. Hey, like I told you, my son just got into the world of Michael Jackson and got into getting into his music and his videos, and he was so confused when he saw 1991 Michael Jackson. It was like, who's that woman? I'm like, no, that's Mike.
Oh.
I was like, that's Mike. That's Mike. That's Mike. I understand, because my son literally saw him from a baby boy to grown man in a matter of minutes, and he was just thrown off. Well, Latoya Jackson. Now, give me a real one, Alton.
No, I remember. What was that girl name? Electric.
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Easily.
because she was plastered everywhere. If you watch Baywatch, if you watched MTV, Carmen Electra was everywhere. But look, Yogi, I've seen some great ones in the comments right here. Sam Elliott, I'm seeing a lot. Who's Sam Elliott? Did I miss something? Yogi, Sam Elliott, anybody?
Oh, he's
we got.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember this guy. He was he's like the dude that plays in the country westerns.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
Really? That was y'all guy?
Sam Elliott.
Okay, I see y'all.
Like the fucking mustache.
Yeah, with the big old mustache.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Daisy Duke. I rest my case.
Oh well, yeah. There you go. I didn't know Daisy Duke was like an actual woman, but yeah, okay.
No, yeah. So Pamela was Sam Elliott, Tom Selleck, and all his chest hair.
I got to Google all these folks because I
don't know who Tom Selleck is.
Oh, Tom Selleck. I know. Okay, I know. He is.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck. Hey, look, he had the mustache. He had the full man. Just like you always like back then, it was cool to have chest hair. You know what I'm saying? And Tom Selleck said, "I'm gonna show you my chest hair and my stomach hair. You getting all this grizzly bear." You know what I'm saying? And it drove the women wild back then. I was like, can't do that now. Sam Elliott, though. Victor Newman from Young and Restless. Sylvia, Sylvia. Come on, Sylvia. Proud of you, girl. I knew you had one. I knew you had one in you.
Oh, Farrah Fawcett, yeah.
Farrah Fawcett, of course. And Wonder Woman. I see you. She was spinning around and transforming and stuff. She still looks good today. She's like 70 years old. Still looks good. So had a little work done, but she still looks good. She still looks good.
I'm still crushing on Martha Stewart right now, man. When she did that bathing suit, that swimsuit.
Come on.
Listen, Martha Stewart was looking good in that swimsuit magazine. Come on now.
Look, man. Martha Stewart been looking for a man for like the last 10 years, 10, 15 years. She said, I want to lay next to somebody. I was like, I cannot. Martha, you okay? Martha.
Martha.
She went to jail. She went to the Fed, and she came out and said, I'm looking for somebody.
Yeah.
I need a little something. Matthew McConaughey, I can't. All right. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at Matthew. Come on. Put up Janet Ferguson. There it is. Barry Gibb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it.
You looking up Barry Gibb too, though?
Yeah, man. I mean, some of these white folks, I'm lying. Okay.
I didn't know his name.
You know, I actually feel bad because now I understand what white folks do when they don't know black culture. I can't get mad no more now.
Hey, Manuel Murphy, Mary Tyler Moore. Hey, that's a nice choice. Safe choice. Clean choice. I like that. John Stamos, Karen. Hey.
That's classic.
John Stamos, that's another classic right there. Let's see.
Well, yeah. I mean, John Travolta.
Oh, John Stamos was Full House.
Yes, yep. Alton. Thank you so much. Okay.
I need it because I'm not the only one look, I know it's other people like who these folks are.
I know, I got you. John Travolta.
John Travolta. In real time. So yeah.
You know John Travolta?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, John Travolta from back then, you know what I'm saying? He was a ladies' man back then. Now he's bald head. Sometimes he has his man unit on, so he has the hair going for him, you know, but you know, John Travolta's always been cool. Always been cool.
Man, lady, and hair.
Yeah, everybody they naming right now look horrible around. I mean, everybody look horrible.
Hey, Jason Priestley didn't age well either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
90210, Jason was the man back in the mid-90s. But I looked at him recently. I'm like, ooh, oh, okay. Okay, I'll see you. Don Johnson. Don Johnson was Miami Vice, wasn't he? Don Johnson was Miami Vice. He was the white guy.
Yeah.
Googling.
Yeah.
Paul Newman. I know Paul Newman. Yeah, I know that.
From the ranch dressing?
This is Paul Newman.
Thank you.
Well,
yes,
isn't that Paul Newman?
Hey, Regina says, Yogi, if you put your Regina up, they weren't a crush for me, but I love Daryl Hall and John Oates. They were so handsome, especially John Oates. I still love their music. Regina, that doesn't count. Hall and Oates are black.
Y'all like
what nobody says. Hall and Oates.
Yeah.
You know, when we say they're invited to the cookout, they got there before everybody else. Okay. Hall and Oates was at the barbecue.
Yeah, John Oates.
Tom Jones is not on you. It's not unusual. I can't. It's fading into your background.
You look like a DeBarge though. Oh yeah, it is fading.
The Hall or Oates?
Oates.
Yeah,
well, I can't see him. But
yeah. He looks DeBarge-ish. Mustache. Flowing hair. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. They sounded black, and you know they knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing.
That was the era.
Clint Eastwood. I like Clint Eastwood. Don't really like his politics, but I like Clint Eastwood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at Clint Eastwood. Put up Ruby Brown for me. Talk real quick. This would be real quick. Ruby Brown said, should we even wonder why black men are marrying non-black women? No, we should not. We should not wonder or ask why. In my opinion, you love who you love. You know what I'm saying? Go about loving who you love. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Umar might be shaking his head at me right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, love who you love, in my opinion. And just go about your business.
I can't do it. I know.
I mean, look, I married a woman from the south side of Chicago that keeps a knife on her. So you know, that wasn't never in my cards.
Yeah, Dr. Umar will be ashamed. He'll be upset with that comment that you just made. Love who you love. Love
who you love, man.
Love no white.
Young Christopher Walken. That's Angelina Jolie's poppy. You know what I'm saying? That's her dad. And he was a nice looking young gentleman back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Matt Dillon, man, Brad Pitt. Yep, Matt Dillon was okay. Sylvia's really fighting this, I swear to God. Sylvia out here just like, I guess. Like, this guy, he was okay, I guess. Martha and Snoop probably seen each other now. I wouldn't be surprised. Be surprised.
You know, let Snoop knock the cobwebs out a little bit. Yeah.
Hey, look here, man.
I do it.
Rob Lowe is, been pretty for a very long time. John B.
Betty White.
Dude, Betty, come on, Betty White.
Man, slow down. Slow down.
I'm sorry. I apologize. There's a lot. Hey, look here.
Oh, they come with
Yogi, they going in. They grabbing names. Remember Yogi. Yogi just said no. Yogi's like Sylvia. Oh, Peter Reckel, Bo Brady, and on Days of Our Lives. Let me tell you, these stories, these soap operas. That's where the grandmothers found their white men right there.
Yeah, clearly the soaps are the way to go here.
Do they still come on soap opera?
One does, I think. No one said Elvis Presley.
You're right.
They shouldn't.
Because he stole all the black music. We don't need him stealing black women too, even though he wasn't interested in anybody over 14. Okay, so
I mean, that's facts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. John B. Is he another one that we kind of claim? He had the thing, and he had the thing. John B. thought he was black. John B. thought he was black for real.
No, yeah.
I know a few black women that love John B.
I mean, if I didn't ever see his face, I would have thought he was black. When you first hear that song.
Oh, this guy's white.
Right.
I'm sorry, you're right. John Voight. I'm sorry, you're right. John Voight is Sybil made it in. No Topanga story for you. Come on, Sybil.
Hey,
story.
Happy birthday.
Sybil.
Happy birthday, Sybil.
Happy birthday.
And, that's a black story, though.
No, Topanga was thick. Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now,
very not white.
Topanga surprises. It was like after like a summer happened, and then like I guess she hit puberty, and we were all like, "Wait a minute, hold up." She looked different, you know what I'm saying? And it was like all of us were probably around the same age or whatever, and it was just like, "Oh, she cute." Yeah, it was like because she wasn't cute when it first started. You didn't even. No one looked at Topanga twice, right? And all of a sudden she came back from a good summer. Y'all remember them good summers. Y'all remember them good summers where like it was that, and you blossomed, and then all of a sudden you got attention you weren't getting before. That's what happened to Topanga. She came back, and everyone's like, "Oh, I see that." And
why?
B,
why did I think Ricky Lake was kind of cute? Y'all remember Ricky Lake?
Yes.
Big Ricky or small Ricky?
All
Ricky?
I just thought she was kind of cute. I used to watch her show and I was young, and I don't know why I was attracted to Ricky Lake. She had a cute smile.
Oh man, Starsky and Hutch and B. Oh man, I really enjoy everybody. Thank you everybody for participating. Kevin Bacon, thank you everybody for participating because that was fun. Because I am looking at
blown out there for a second, but not really.
Oh, it turned up. It turned up. The nominees started coming in right quick and in a hurry. It's time to go to trending. Again, I appreciate everybody. Ruby Brown said Ricky Lake is beautiful, big or small. You're right. Alton said Alton said she's cute either way. I understand that. Let's go to trending. I want to go back to the DNC and something you brought up earlier, Cameron. You were talking about how these no. We were talking about how these events bring out the stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, who is the starting lineup? And my big thing is I've told people because I really get aggravated when folks talking about it's hold your vote and hold their feet to the fire. I'm like, fam, it is too late for that. We're down to 2. You know what I'm saying? Pick one. You know what I'm saying? Are you expecting one of them to say, "Hey, if you vote for me, I'm gonna do this"? Are you? Is that what you really expected? Like they're gonna say something you want to hear right now that you don't expect them? Like they are who they are. You kind of understand what their policy is gonna be just because for Kamala, she's been part of the Biden the Biden presidency, and she's been the vice president. So she's probably not going to stray too far from that and what the Democratic Party wants to do. You have an understanding of what they want to do. With Trump, we've seen him in office before. We know what he's about. We know who's following him. We know what's going on. So what are you really expecting from these candidates? So my question to you, Cameron, is I always say that we have to now start preparing for 2028. Yeah, that starts now. And like you said,
or 2026, because of the
yes,
house. Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. So 2026 and then 2020, actually 2027, because that's when everybody starts kind of throwing their name in the hat. But who are some of the names? I know we brought up Jasmine Crockett earlier, but who are some other names that you're seeing out here that's kind of standing out to you?
There's been a bit of a shuffle because the squad got broken up. So they're not as hard hitting anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if AOC and like the Sanders camp try to pull Crockett a little bit further to the left, which I'm not mad at. But I think Jasmine probably just needs to secure like a very stable voter base before she starts kind of drifting.
That's a good point.
There are some governors who are trying to, just come up and solidify themselves a little bit further. People love to see as much of Gavin Newsom as they possibly can. Who's also just like another unreasonably handsome white man for some reason. So people like to get him as much camera time as possible. I'm trying to think if there's anybody that came out last night that I was just kind of shocked by. There have been some. They had some Republicans there as well. Dude from Kentucky. I forgot.
I was surprised by that too. I was like, I'm a man from Kentucky. Ruby. I was waiting for Cam to bring up Wes Moore, whether he likes it or not. What do you think about Wes Moore, Cameron?
I think Wes Moore's great. I don't think he gets enough. I don't think he gets enough media coverage. He's been coming down with like a lot of progressive agendas, pardoning marijuana convictions. Geez, he had to repair almost just like an unnatural disaster. Wes Moore has been doing it very well. And then, of course, we want to see how the Democratic Party is preparing to position Hakeem Jeffries, because, are they going to want Hakeem to just be, that staple congressperson that holds down Congress for the next 10, 15 years? Or are they going to try to move him up the ranks a little bit until he tries to make another, or until he tries to make a swing for the executive branch? If you know anything about Hakeem Jeffries, you know that he does very much like climbing the ranks. He does like to get promotions.
Yeah.
So
right.
We will see.
I think that's so interesting that you say that, because I feel like, when it comes to politics, that it just feels like everything's kind of put in motion. It's like, who does the Democratic National Committee want to be the face? Because I've said that they never really recovered from Hillary losing to Trump. That was
rough.
That was rough, and they always had to try to come up from that. Alton, what do you think about that? It's just, the Democratic Party is just like, no, we're going to put this in motion. I always say that Joe Biden can't stand them people, but because they gave him hell. But Alton, what do you think that when it comes to the Democratic Party and trying to choose who that next person is going to be? Is anybody you saw that, you're like, oh, that's somebody I never heard before, and that might be my guy or my girl?
I'm not going to sit on here, mad, and act like I know politics like that.
Okay, no problem.
Because I was over here. I was gonna make up something. I was like, yeah, get Donald Glover in there. Donald Glover's been doing great in acting. I think he could be.
I think.
But this is what I do want. I do want them to. We have to do something where we can break some of these policies down in layman terms for our community.
Right.
And what I do know is there's an increase of people that don't know if they want to vote or not. And there are people more of my age, from the age of 30 to 40. That generation is like, I don't know if I want to vote or not. And then what's happening now is we have the older people who is just like, they don't even want to hear them out. Oh, you need to vote. You got to do this. What's wrong with you? People died. It's like, no, like, we got to have this conversation now, because our generation we're done with especially generations coming up. They're done with you got to vote the less of evils and all that conversation. They don't want to hear that no more.
No, they do not.
I just sat and watched Akbar V have a conversation about politics, and it was the worst. I put it in the group chat.
Yeah.
And it was the worst headache I ever had in my life. They were all over the place. And there are people on that live that if they believe in Akbar V in that conversation, they're misled. This girl basically just promoted and endorsed Trump on her Instagram. And then she goes on Instagram and is like, well, I'm still doing research. So send me. I can change. And I'm like, yo, you can't do that. You can't endorse somebody and be like, oh, I didn't know that. She did that. Oh, let me change it up. No. So we have to do a better job. I don't know. We got to bring back the Black Panther or something, but we have to do something to break this stuff down in layman terms, because we're losing our young people and my generation. Like they're getting disconnected. And I'm glad that we got Kamala in that space, because she brought a lot of energy. Because I'm telling y'all now, I thought this was going to be the lowest voting election. I thought it was going to be a low number of Black people.
It was going to be.
And so that's my thoughts on politics. We need something to break this stuff down so we won't lose the next generation. Because that's what we're doing.
I want to mention Sybil did throw in the names: Governor Westmore, Max Frost, the Justins from Tennessee. That, if you remember, they made a name for themselves last year. And also for people that didn't know, when Khameron mentioned the Kentucky governor, he's a Democrat. I know it's weird. Kentucky, it's like saying Mississippi got a Democratic. I know it's weird, but no, Andy Beshear of Kentucky, he's a Democrat, and he definitely, I think him speaking, because he was one of the people that I wasn't expecting to be up there. That caught my ear. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, because I had the DNC playing in the background, but while he was talking, I looked back a couple times what he, at who. I'm like, who's this? You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy? And I said, oh, Governor. I was like, Kentucky. Damn. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't really know who he was. So, I thought he did a good job for himself last night, in just that situation, of kind of putting himself, making a little bit of a name for himself, out there. But
if I could just briefly, just to clarify Alton's point that, we can never have too much civic education. We could never educate Black people enough about what it actually takes to make change, what it actually takes to create change. And this is also a good time to pick an issue that you care about, to pick a cause that you care about, whether it be women's rights or economic opportunities or access to, healthcare or home ownership, and then how to get involved and organized to make that change. And no one's going to know all the facts, right? That's what political discourse is about. But a good way to get active and to get involved is just to start by picking a cause and figuring out, what it takes to make that thing happen. Me and some of my organizer friends are going to host some classes. We're going to gamify it a little bit to just educate people on how, change making actually works from a human level. What is it that you do to actually, make something happen?
We need it, because, man, I can't see another. If y'all don't know who Akbar V, she's a rapper that came under Nicki Minaj. And, man, that thing was a headache, bro. I can't believe this.
It definitely is tough when you're watching people who really don't know what they're talking about. And I want to also say that I don't mind people who don't know what they're talking about try to figure out, but it's when they come from a point of expertise in their ignorance is where it gets kind of confusing and can lead people astray. So we have to be careful, because I'm the king of, I don't know this stuff. I'm gonna find somebody who does. I'm gonna call Sybil. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call Khameron. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Khameron, does this make sense? You know what I'm saying? And things like that. Find you somebody who knows what they're talking about when you don't, and try to get your facts straight. And then also, guess what? Read. I'm about to read this story to you guys right now. And in other training news, I don't know if y'all remember this. The Ocala woman who fatally shot her Black neighbor through a closed door has been found guilty. A jury on Friday agreed with prosecutors that 60-year-old Susan Lawrence who's white, is guilty of a first-degree felony manslaughter. Lawrence shot mother of 4, AJ Owens, over an argument about Owens' children playing near her home in June of 2023. She is facing 30 years in prison. I remember this story when it first came out. Like, she was like, it almost felt like she was waiting for the opportunity to shoot this woman. Like, she wanted to kill this woman, and she was trying to find a way. Again, remember, what I say? It was in I believe this was in Florida, right?
Florida needs guns, man.
And so
crazy stuff going on.
And so what she was doing was trying to bait this woman, complain about her kids. That woman came to her door because she said something to her children, and she shot her through the door. And I feel that I really felt like this woman thought she was going to be okay, because it was, I was scared. She was threatening. You know what I'm saying? I was in my home, and you know what I'm saying? And I was defending myself. And Florida, as we all know, when it comes to white people shooting black people in Florida, they usually can get off because it's a stand your ground state. And they're very, very, very strict about standing your ground in the marshlands of Florida. But she is not. They kind of saw through the BS, and she's now facing up to 30 years in prison for killing this mother of 4. These kids who were just playing outside saw their mother get shot and killed in front of them. I hope she goes under the jail. Alton?
I mean, that's what we wanted. It's not much to even say about that. But I remember this story, and I'm pretty sure she thought she was gonna get off.
I know she thought she was getting off. She was waiting for the opportunity to do it.
Yeah. So is this another? I mean, this is a good sign of hey, white privilege not working in this case.
Come on.
But I mean, I just had this conversation with my nephew, man. Being that his bus driver is an older white lady, I'm like, hey, man, you have to be careful what you do, man. And it's sad that I have to have this conversation for a 12-year-old black kid. But I had to be honest with him. It's just certain things you just can't do, man. Because if she say something that you did, hey, look, you ain't cute no more. They'll put you under the jail. That cute stuff you was doing, look, you can't do that no more. You got to watch what you say to her because of that white. And I hate to say that because I don't want. It's like I don't want her to look like she's a racist or nothing like, because I don't know her like that.
Right.
But that's the reality we live in, man.
Yeah.
No, Cam, go ahead.
I was going to say it was a painful conversation for me to hear as a youth that was like, hey, under certain circumstances around certain kinds of people, you got to act a certain way, and you have to accommodate those people when those people don't go out of their way to accommodate you by any means.
Mm-hmm.
They could care less, but it's nice to see justice delivered in this case. Right. And I'm really thinking about the kids, and what their futures are going to be, and hope that the kids are taken care of.
Yeah. And lastly, in trending, I know we talked about earlier white crushes. I don't know if this name never came up, but he was very respected. Legendary talk show host Phil Donahue passed away at the age of 88. His family passed away Sunday night after a long illness. Donahue was surrounded by his family, including his wife, Marlo Thomas. He hosted the Phil Donahue Show for 29 seasons, starting in 1967 until retiring in 1996. He returned to the airwaves in 2002 to host Donahue on MSNBC.
It's okay.
God, dog it, man.
Hey, look here.
Y'all have been with the Lord.
I'm telling you. Hey, you saw the women talk about Sam Elliott. There's Sam Elliott, and then there was Phil Donahue. Your grandmother is very upset right now about Phil Donahue passing. You know what I'm saying? People, but I tell you, black folks loved Phil Donahue.
Man, he would have still been alive if I wouldn't know. If I wasn't on this show, he would have still been alive.
I'm telling you, Phil Donahue was like, you know, they say Phil Donahue walked so Oprah could run because, you know, he did 29 seasons. You know, Oprah did 20. She stopped at 20. You know, Oprah could have gone forever. Oprah could still be on right now if she wanted to be honest. Yeah. But you know, Phil, I just remember Phil being on, and I really didn't know who this white guy was standing there. You know what I'm saying? Like doing these questions. I didn't understand. I was too young to really understand what was going on. And then I realized, like, oh, he's doing the Oprah thing. And I, again, didn't realize he'd been on since 1967. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm more connected to Jerry Springer. You know what I'm saying? That was a sad day for me when the mayor of Cincinnati died, Jerry Springer. But, you know, Phil Donahue, man, like I said, did she do 25? I thought she stopped at 20. I thought it was like a round number 20. I can't remember. If she did 25, then she did 25. It doesn't matter. If Oprah wanted to go 50 years, she could have done 50 years. She could be doing it right now if she wanted to. So, you know, but Phil Donahue was a staple, in these homes. And I, you know, like I said, rest in peace to Phil Donahue, and prayers going out to his family.
Gone too soon, man. Gone too soon.
He was 88, man. Can you still say that?
88, wow. Yeah.
Actually, I thought he should be older than that, right? How old was he then in I'm not doing the math right now. How old was he in 1967 when he started? If he's 88 in 2024, was he 16?
That's algebra.
I was like,
he died at 89, so he probably still old.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. In entertainment news, I don't know, you know, this is not a story that I would give Sybil, but there's this influencer named Khameron. And
sure. Yeah.
And he has been very Sybil, stop. and he's an influencer. He started as Twitch, playing video games on Twitch. He's become
big.
No, he's huge. He's absolutely huge. But that's where he came from. The world. So and the kids love him. The young people, Gen Zers, they love this guy. He does stunts and skits and all this other stuff. He has celebrities hop out at his house. He does live interviews, music reviews. They just really enjoy this guy's content. And then there's another guy. His name is Speed. What's his name, Alton? Speedy.
I think his name Speed. Yeah, they call him Speed. Yeah,
he called him Speedy. So they're both influencers. They're both streamers. Have huge followings, and they decided to play Minecraft for 2 days straight. Yeah, that's what they did. They were live and played Minecraft for 2 days straight, and then they decided to hop in the shower and take a shower together separately. It was a big shower. And they had the cameras rolling still, and they were in the drawers. You know what I'm saying? They had the drawers on. They were just soaping up. And Speed kept on messing with Kai, and Kai was like, "Leave me alone! Leave me alone!" All this other stuff. Alton, you're a comedian. Let me ask you something. The urge to create content, and what I feel is desperation sometimes, to go viral, to make a scene. What is that like when you're creating content and you're just trying to find something? Like you just I need to do something. I'm gonna be outlandish as much as possible to get something back for it.
I mean, that's what's working. It's shock value. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I'm just not the shock value type of comedian. I mean, right now I can go viral now. I can pull my pan down and put my. I know Sybil would be mad, but it'll go viral.
To say the least, yes.
but that's the stuff people are doing now. But the sad thing about it is these are the platforms that politics are going to. You know, they're going to these platforms to get votes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what in the hell is going on? So
that's where all the political discourse happens, on these streamer platforms.
Yes. We saw Trump. Sybil said, try it, Alton.
I mean, can I do it? I mean, your show. Hey, listen, let me tell you. You talking about your show?
Prepare for the eclipse.
Yogi got rid of.
You'll be viral though.
Yeah,
you will be viral tomorrow. This thing will be on the shade room.
Yeah, but like, no, I know a lot of people are saying that they don't know who they are, but I'm just saying, like, your kids, your grandkids, whoever they are, they know who they are. These are the people that are becoming influencers. We saw President Trump go on another streamer. He's like 18 years old, something like that. That's how influential these kids are.
Oh,
like 18, 25 years old, political figures going on their streams and making noise by doing so. So, it's time to it's time to kind of start paying attention to who these people are, because they're helping make decisions, big decisions in this country. So it's time to kind of, like I said, start paying attention to who these influencers are and who are they influencing. Because the future is coming up, and they are.
That is, and like I said, I know they say they don't know about it. It's not a story that Sybil usually would do, but I think it is very important to know who your kids is watching. It's very important.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Because it's getting serious with this streaming. Is getting serious, and they're making a lot of money with these streams.
A lot of money.
T-Pain say he makes what
$60,000 an hour.
An hour streaming.
Playing video games online, streaming, and
T-Pain is on Twitch now.
Yes, he plays video games on Twitch, makes about $60,000 an hour, and he said he's not even good at playing the game.
It's not a game, y'all.
Hey. Wow,
I'm just saying.
I know Beyonce made a Twitch the other day. People were like, "Oh, is she about to start streaming for real?" And I'm like, "No way." If Beyonce starts streaming, I don't think there's enough bandwidth on the internet. For
Beyonce to stream, you said?
Yeah.
No, she'll never do that. She'll never do that.
Yeah.
It would, it'd bring the brand down too much. Her brand is also kind of steeped in mystery as well.
Yeah, that's she's still old school.
She's an old school celebrity. So and I bet you Will Smith probably want to go back and think about keeping his stuff as private as possible too. Let the, the minute he got on social media at 50 years old, everything went kind of downhill at that point.
It was the red table talk. It wasn't his fault.
Hey, look, he got pulled into that. That. But now it's time for Yogi's jewel. Honesty is the foundation of any strong and lasting relationship. Thank you. All right. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to the What You Need to Know newsletter. That's available right now for free $99. I want to thank Khameron Riley for joining us today, as he always does every Tuesday. And then my brother Alton Walker for coming in and holding it down for Damon Williams. We will be back next week to talk more. And Sybil will be a couple 7 more days older next week as well. And we'll celebrate that too. Come on.
Birthday.
Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate you. You can follow me at Big Ned, follow Alton Walker at Alton Walker, and follow Khameron Riley at Khameron Riley _ Riley. I said that wrong. Let's get out of here before I mess up.
Okay, good.